اللهم أخرجني من ظلمات الوهم وأكرمني بنور الفهم. اللهم افتح علينا أبواب رحمتك وانشر علينا خزائن علومك برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. We continue our discussion about ذم الغرور, كتاب ذم الغرور, from the book المحجة البيضاء. We mentioned few groups of ulama and students who suffer ghurūr. There are also other groups of people who suffer ghurūr. For example, people who are involved in ibadah, they are also likely exposed to ghurūr. But the type that I want to mention today is about the people who have money, and they can also suffer ghurūr. And this would be our last session this year. So first I should thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for enabling us to start and finish this year, and pray to Allah to give us tawfiq inshallah to continue in a much better condition inshallah next year. As-sinf ar-rabi'. So I'm jumping to the fourth group of people. Arbabul amwal. Those who have money. وَالْمُغْتَرُّونَ مِنْهُمْ فِرَقٌ كَثِيرَةٌ. And those of them who suffered self-deception are several groups. And these are religious people, you know. فَفِرْقَةٌ مِّنْهُمْ يَحْرُصُونَ عَلَى بِنَاءِ الْمَسَاجِدِ وَالْمَدَارِسِ وَالرِّبَاطَاتِ وَالْقَنَاطِرِ وَمَا يَظْهَرُ لِلنَّاسِ كَافَّةً. Some of them are very passionate in building masjids, schools, places for people to, have rest between cities. In the past, they used to make, some, like we have services. Yes, so there were stations that people could stay, for 1 night, 2 nights to get energy and continue there. Yes. Yes.
Rest places.
Yeah. Wal-qanatir, like bridges. So they are very passionate in building masjids, schools, like hotels for travelers, bridges. وَمَا يَظْهَرُ لِلنَّاسِ كَافَةً. Something that everyone can see. They very much like to build something that everyone can see. وَيَكْتُبُونَ أَسَامِيَهُمْ بِالْآجُرِ عَلَيْهَا. Ajur, I think it's Farsi, but they are using this. So they put their name on a brick, like a plate, that this is made by so and so. لِيَتَخَلَّدَ ذِكْرُهُمْ. So that their name can be eternal. People keep thinking of them. وَيَبْقَى بَعْدَ الْمَوْتِ أَثَرُهُمْ. After we die, something remains from us. وَهُمْ يَظُنُّونَ. And they think أَنَّهُمْ قَدْ اسْتَحَقُّوا الْمَغْفِرَةَ بِذَلِكَ. They think because they have done something useful, sadaqah jariyah, so Allah is going to forgive them for the sins that they have committed. وَقَدْ اغْتَرُّوا فِيهِ مِنْ وَجْهِينَ. But in 2 ways, they have been suffering ghurūr. Not that everyone who does this, but there is a risk. You have to be careful. Check these 2 things. أحدهما أنهم يبنونها من أموال اكتسبوها من الظلم والنهب والرشا والجهات المحظورة. Sometimes the money that they use for building these places are not from halal sources. For example, they have been selling haram or doing haram transaction. And now they think, okay, I make also a masjid. it will be cleaning, my money. Or they have been bribing, or they have not, been paying rights of people. فهم قد تعرضوا لسخط الله في كسبها وتعرضوا لسخطه في إنفاقها. They have exposed themselves to the wrath and anger of Allah in collecting and making these monies, and also in spending, because you don't have any right to use this haram money on making a masjid or madrasa. وَكَانَ الْوَاجِبُ عَلَيْهِمْ الْإِمْتِنَاءُ عَنْ كَسْبِهَا. In the first place, what was obligatory was to avoid earning such haram. فَإِذَا عَصَوُا اللَّهَ تَعَالَى بِكَسْبِهَا. And if it happened that they committed sin, disobeyed Allah in making this money, كَانَ الْوَاجِبُ عَلَيْهِمْ التَّوْبَةِ وَالرُّجُوعِ إِلَى اللَّهِ وَرَدُّهَا إِلَى مُلَّاكِهَا. They had to do tawbah and return this money to its owners. Mullak is the plural for malik, like tullab, talib, ummal, amil. Yeah? Mullaka means the owner of this money. Imma bi'a'yanaha, if the exact property of those people is still with them, they have to give it back. If aynul mal means the exact property is not there, the value of it. Okay? So if I've taken, for example, someone's gold, I have to give gold. But if I've taken something and then transferred, for example, or I don't know, changed it, but the value I have to give. ردها إلى ملاكها إما بأعيانها أو رد بدلها, something alternative عند العجز. فإن عجزوا عن الملاك, suppose the person that I owe to him this money or property has died. Still you cannot say he has died, so I am going to use it. You have to go to the heirs, to the waratha. Give the money to the waratha. فإن عجزوا عن الملاك فكان الواجب ردها إلى الورثة. فإن لم يبق للمظلوم وارث, if waratha also are not there, فالواجب صرفها إلى أهم المصالح. Then you have to use it in the most important places. Of course, we need Hakim Shara to give us permission. What is most needed? ربما يكون الأهم, maybe what is more important than making these buildings, التفرقة على المساكين, is to distribute it among poor people. وهم لا يفعلون ذلك. But they don't do this. Why? خيفة من أن لا يظهر ذلك للناس. So if we give to poor people, who would realize? What would remain from me? I have to make something big and put my name there so that people... Yes.
You should put the name of the original owner if he's doing that as well.
Then people realize that he has stolen from them. Problem. That, yes.
Sheikh, now, it's a slightly different one in the sense that he's not stolen, for example, but he's got the money from, especially in these countries where you play the lotto game. And is that considered haram money or not?
Lottery?
Yeah.
You have to ask your marja. Some may allow. Some. فيبنون الأبنية بالآجر وغرضهم من بنائها الرياء وجلب الثناء. they want to show off. They want to be praised. وحرصهم على بقائها لبقاء أسمائهم بها لا لبقاء الخير. They want this masjid to remain not because they want the masjid to be remaining. They want their name to remain. Yeah? So if their name is going to disappear, they don't bother whether masjid is going to remain or not. Okay. The second problem, so this was about the people who don't make this money from halal and they want to make such buildings. والوجه الثاني أنهم يظنون بأنفسهم الإخلاص. Another problem that can happen is that they think they are sincere. وقصد الخير. They think they have good intention. في الإنفاق على الأبنية. When they spend money on making these places. ولو كلف واحد منهم أن ينفق دينارا ولا يكتب اسمه على الموضع الذي أنفق عليه لشق عليه ذلك ولم تسمح به نفسه. If one of them is asked to spend 1 dinar, 1 golden coin, without putting your name anywhere, he finds it very difficult. So why? When you want to spend 1 dinar, you find it difficult, but you spend millions when your name is there. Okay? Of course, when we read these things, you shouldn't question people. This is for ourselves, to check ourselves. Don't, underestimate people who donate money or, make masjid or whatever. This is just to be careful about yourself. You don't have any right to judge other people. والله تعالى مطلع عليه كتب اسمه أم لم يكتب. Allah knows who has made this, whether your name is there or not. فلولا أنه يريد به وجه الناس لا وجه الله لما افتقر إلى ذلك. If he was not interested in attention of people, he didn't need to bother about this. Of course, sometimes people say, we want people to remember us so that they pray for us. Okay? So there can be a good justification, but people don't need to remember you by name. You can say, please recite Fatiha for the one who has built this masjid, whoever he is. Unless you are 100% sure about your intention. If you are sure, then it's okay. Because sometimes it can encourage other people when they know a normal person or a business person has made such thing, other people can be encouraged. So we don't want to judge, just we want to say be very careful. Shaitan may come even here to deceive us. Yes.
I don't remember the Quranic verse, but I remember the bit of translation where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that through his holy prophet that there is a person in the world, he talks to you and talks to you very nicely, and he make Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala his witness as well. But in his heart, he is the most mischievous person. In that case, how should I know that I am really meticulous? How can I check my class? Where is the parameter?
So you have to go through big examinations. For example, if you do something and people know or people don't know, would it make any difference for you? Or if you do something good and some people blame you, do you regret that why I did this? So you need to test yourself.
But sometimes when you do something good,
and my also advice is, even if you have good reasons to do some good things in public, for education, for other reasons, but please keep certain issues only between you and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is like a safe space. If I can for years keep something good that I do secret, then it's a sign of, inshallah, sincerity. But if everything I do, people come to know about it, then this should worry us. You know? So for certain things, do not let any reason, even if it is education or whatever, any reason to make them public. Just keep it between you and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Even your husband, your wife, your children, no one should know about it. وَفِرْغَةٌ أُخْرَى. Another group of أرباب الأموال, the people who have money, who may suffer from غرور, is ربما اكتسبت الأموال من الحلال. They have earned it from halal ways. وأنفقت على المساجد, and they spent it on masjids. But still they are مغرور من وجهين. أحدهما الرياء وطلب الثناء, showing off and asking people to praise them. فإنه, what is the sign of this? ربما يكون في جواره أو في بلده فقير. Sometimes next to him in his neighborhood or in his town there are poor people. وصرف المال إليه أهم وأفضل من الصرف إلى المساجد وزينتها. And spending money on this poor person in our neighborhood, in the town, is more important than making masjid or beautifying masjid. وإنما يخف عليه الصرف إلى المساجد ليظهر ذلك بين الناس. But he finds it easier to spend on masjid because people are going. والثاني, the other problem is that sometimes they spend this money on زخرفة المسجد. زخرفة is master. Zakhrafa, yuzakhrifu means to coat with gold. Yes, you know, gold coated. Muzakhraf, of course, in Farsi, you know, we use when something is baseless, you know, we say this is muzakhraf, means rubbish. But zukhruf, you know, we have means something that on the surface is gold, inside is, you know, it's useless, you know. So it means coating with gold. He says sometimes they spend lots of money on decoration of masjid. And decoration of masjid in general is not a good idea. Yes, sometimes it is good because, for example, we want to demonstrate our love for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We want to encourage people to come to masjid. But for everything there is a balance. If you know you spend too much, then it's waste of money. This money can be used in other ways. And also it would be distracting attention of people. People go to masjid to say prayer, but they start looking at the tiles and the carpet and, you know, lamp and, you know, and also they say, you know, I wish my house was like this, you know. When they go home also they suffer. Yes.
What do you think about the way our shrines are?
I discussed this separately. Okay. So والثاني أنه يصرف إلى زخرفة المسجد وتزيينه بالنقوش. Then they decorate it with some, you know, pictures التي هي منهي عنها. You know, for example, pictures of those who have a spirit. You know, it's, of course, in our fiqh, it can be makruh, for example. In Sunni fiqh, can be haram. Depends, because we believe a statue is a problem of something which has a spirit, but they believe even tasweer means a picture. You know, there's a difference between us and our Sunni brothers here normally. So they make pictures that sometimes can be problematic. وَشَاغِلَةٌ لِقُلُوبِ الْمُصَلِّينَ preoccupies the hearts of the people who say prayer, diverts their attention. وَمُخْتَطِفَةٌ أَعْيُنَهُمْ اختطاف means to rob. You know, in modern Arabic for hijacking, they say اختطاف. When people, you know, take us hostage, they say اختطاف. But means to draw the attention. وَالْمَقْصُودُ مِنَ الصَّلَاةِ الْخُشُوعُ وَحُضُورُ الْقَلْبِ. What is meant in salat is to be humble, to have presence of heart. So masjid should not be a place that would distract your attention, would take you to dunya. Masjid should be a place which is clean, which is beautiful, but at the same time simple. Not too many items there. وَذَلِكَ يُفْسِدُ قُلُوبَ الْمُصَلِّينَ. But this can corrupt the heart of the believers who go there for salat. And وَبَالُ ذَلِكَ كُلِّهِ يَرْجِعُ إِلَيْهِ. The burden goes to this person who has made such expenditure. وَهُوَ مَعَ ذَلِكَ يَغْتَرُّ بِهِ وَيَرَى أَنَّهُ مِنَ الْخَيْرَاتِ. He thinks, you know, I have done such great thing. وَيَعُدُّ ذَلِكَ وَسِيلَةً إِلَى اللَّهِ تَعَالَى. He thinks that this is an instrument or a means that can take him towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So, he says, there is a story, which is nice. It says, قِيلَ, I just skip few lines. دَخَلَ رَجُلَانْ مَسْجِدًا. Two people entered masjid. فَوَقَفَ أَحَدُهُمَا عَلَى الْبَابِ. One of them stood next to the gate of masjid and stopped there. He said, مِثْلِي لَا يَدْخُلُ بَيْتَ اللَّهِ. He said, someone like me should not enter the house of God. فَكَتَبَهُ الْمَلَكَانِ عِنْدَ اللَّهِ الصِّدِّيقَ. Then those two angels who are responsible, they said this person is Siddiq. Even before entering masjid, he is now recognized as Siddiq, one of those who are very truthful. So he says, masajid should be made in the way that humbles people, makes people free from Ghurūr and from attachment to dunya. Okay? So, then he mentions a story. He says, قال الحواريون للمسيح عليه السلام. Disciples of Jesus, they told Jesus, انظر إلى هذا المسجد. Look at this place of worship. Masjid here means place of worship. Temple, for example, whatever. ما أحسنه. How beautiful it is. So the disciples of Isa were very impressed by the beauty of that temple. فقال أمتي أمتي بحق أقول لكم لا يترك الله من هذا المسجد حجرا قائما على حجر إلا أهلكه بذنوب أهله. He says, my people, my nation, I tell you truthfully that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would not leave any stone of this masjid standing on another stone unless he would destroy with the sins. So it means those who have made this masjid by sinning, they would be punished. And إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يَعْبَأُ بِالذَّهَبِ وَالْفِضَّةِ. God does not care about silver or gold. وَلَا بِهَذِهِ الْحِجَارَةِ الَّتِي تُعْجِبُكُمْ شَيْئًا. God would not care at all about these beautiful marbles that you are using, silver, gold in this masajid. إِنَّ أَحَبَّ الْأَشْيَاءِ إِلَى اللَّهِ الْقُلُوبُ الصَّالِحَةِ. Righteous hearts. These are the things that Allah loves the most. بِهَا يَعْمُرُ اللَّهُ الْأَرْضِ وَبِهَا يَخْرُجُ. If something makes a place good or bad, in good condition or bad condition, is the heart of people. Not how they have made their masjid. Okay? Of course, again, masjid should be a place which is nice, which is clean, which is beautiful. And also from society to society, this can be different, because we don't want house of Allah to be the worst place in the city when everyone has good house, or so there are many issues to consider. You shouldn't go to one extreme or the other extreme, but in the end of the day, the focus should be on sincerity of intention of those who build masjid and keep masjid, and purity of the heart of those who go to that masjid. Building is the least important thing. The main thing is the way masjid operates and the way people who go there connect to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Abu Darda says that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, إذا زخرفتم مساجدكم وحليتم مصاحفكم فالدمار عليكم. If a time comes that you make your masajid coated with gold, and you have copies of your Quran decorated with jewelries, then you are destroyed. Because that's the time that even in the most sacred things you are attached to dunya. Yeah? When you read the Quran and your copy of Quran comes with jewelries, you are only thinking about these jewelries. And you are worried, these jewelries, may disappear, may be robbed or whatever. The other group of people who have money and suffer غرور وفرقة أخرى ينفقون الأموال في الصدقات. So the first two groups were not very much concerned about fuqara. They wanted to build something, so that people can see. The third group are people who spend money on sadaqat, charity, al fuqara, al masakin. But يطلبون به المحافل الجامعة. They say, we don't give to scattered poor people. We love to give when people are there, thousands of poor, and we feed them. We feel better when there is a crowd of people who are poor, And also among fuqara, they choose those fuqara who are grateful. For example, if I give someone who doesn't thank me enough, next time I remove him from list. I only give to those fuqara who are grateful. Always they come, and bend, their head in front of me. I give them. وَمِنَ الْفُقَرَاءِ مَنْ عَادَتُهُ الشُّكْرِ. They choose those fuqara whose habit is to be thankful. وَالْإِفْشَاءُ لِلْمَعْرُوفِ. Those fuqara that go everywhere and say, this man is helping us. So they choose those fuqara who do publicity for them. You know? وَيَكْرَهُونَ التَّصَدُّقَ فِي السِّرِّ. They don't like to give, secretly. وَيَرَوْنَ إِخْفَاءَ الْفَقِيرِ لِمَا يَأْخُذُ مِنْهُمْ جِنَايَةً عَلَيْهِمْ وَكُفْرًا. If a faqir doesn't tell this to other people and hides it, they think he has done a big crime and he has not been grateful because he has kept silent. He has not told people about this. وَرُبَمَا يَحْرُصُونَ عَلَى إِنْفَاقِ الْمَالِ فِي الْحَجِّ فَيَحِجُّونَ مَرَّةً بَعْدَ أُخْرَى وَرُبَمَا يَتْرُكُونَ جِيرَانَهُمْ جَائِعِينَ. There are people who, for example, are very passionate about going Hajj. Year after year they go to Hajj, but they have in neighbor, among neighbors, people who are in need of money. They don't give them. They go for Hajj. Then he says, قال ابن مسعود لذلك قال ابن مسعود في آخر الزمان يكثر الحاج بلا سبب يهون عليهم السفر ويبسط لهم في الرزق. There are people in Akhir al-Zaman that they go to Hajj and they don't have any means, any way to support themselves, and they come back. So sometimes they go to Hajj, they are not mustati, they don't have means, just to be telling people that I have done Hajj. This is also a problem that happens. Sometimes to show off by saying that I have gone to Hajj.
So Sheikh, can you repeat the hadith again?
It's not hadith. Ibn Mas'ud says, يكثر الحاج بلا سبب في آخر الزمان يكثر الحاج بلا سبب يهون عليهم السفر. Without having means that can make safar for them possible or easy, they just undertake going Hajj just for showing off. So this is also another group of people that they spend money, but again here is showing off, not by having a masjid with a plate, but at least people should praise them and should talk about them and should praise, mention about them. Another group of people, فرقة أخرى من أنباب الأموال. We have another group of rich people who suffer ghurūr. يحفظون الأموال ويمسكونها بحكم البخل. These are the people who are not spending money. They don't spend money. They say, look, there are people who spend money, for example, who are not sincere, so we don't spend money. But indeed, this is because they are miserly. They are bakhil. Okay? يشتغلون بالعبادات البدنية. They say, we pray, we fast, but we don't give money. This is also a problem.
We think they are zahid.
Yes. يشتغلون بالعبادات البدنية التي لا يحتاج نفقة. Those ibadat that would not cost them anything. كصيام النهار وقيام الليل والختم للقرآن. So they fast, they do tahajjud, they recite Quran, but they don't spend money. وهم مغرورون. They are also suffering from غرور. لأن البخل المهلك قد استولى على باطنهم. Without knowing, this miserliness has, happened, has occurred to them and has destroyed them. فقد اشتغلوا بطلب فضائل هم مستغنون عنها ومثاله مثال من دخل في ثوبه حية وقد أشرف على الهلاك وهو مشغول بطبخ السكنجبين ليسكن به الصفراء. He says, you know, there is a kind of illness for liver. Sometimes your liver would not, you know, work properly. So we have a syrup we call sekanjabin. Okay? So this sekanjabin is good to reduce the problem. So he says, imagine a person that a snake, a poisonous snake has gone into his dress. And he has problem, he's making sekanjabin to drink, and this snake is going to kill him. So where his attention should be is forgotten, and he's paying attention on something which is much minor. من قتلته الحية متى يحتاج إلى السكنجبين. Who is going to drink this sekanjabin if you are going to be killed by this snake? Then he mentions other groups of people who have money and suffer. Because our time is going to over soon, and this is the last session. So basically, what is important is no group of people should feel immune and safe when it comes to self-deception. If you are alim or muta'allim, businessman, ordinary person, if you are a person who does ibadah, there is always a chance of being deceived. Not by other people, by ourselves. Because human beings, as we have said before, have this potential of seeing things differently. We can see the same thing in a good way or bad way. We can see something which is good in a negative way, and something which is negative in a good way. Therefore, we have to be very careful, very cautious about the way we assess and evaluate ourselves, our intention is to be examined carefully, without any mercy. When it comes to yourself, you should not have any mercy on yourself. Unless if you are going to lose your hope and you become despair, then have a little mercy on yourself. Otherwise, because we are so much obsessed with ourselves and so much we love ourselves, that we may not see any problem. You have to be very, very careful. Your intentions, you have to be careful. Your relations. Why with this person I am very close? Why with that person I don't feel very close? Very, for example, warm friendship. I don't have with this person. I have with that person. Why? The way we make money, the way we spend money, the way we plan for ourselves, for our children, for marriage, what subject to study, what type of business to do. We have to be very careful. If you are not careful, on the surface you see that you are such a nice person, that for everything you have good reason. If there were not other people in the world was perfect because you are perfect. Only the problem is that there are millions of people there who are all troublemakers. I am perfect. This is on the surface. But when you go a little bit down, you realize the problems mostly go back to ourselves. In this sense, that no matter what others do and what others are, if we were good, we could have made life much better for ourselves. We cannot change everyone, but if we were better, the world was much better than us. If you look at Awliyāʻullah, Awliyāʻullah don't live in heaven. Awliyāʻullah also lived in dunya like us. And more enmity was going to Awliyāʻullah. Yeah? Because as soon as someone is shining and emerging, enemies attack him. When you are not, useful, or you're not known, or, don't do anything, you don't have enemies. When you emerge, enmity comes. Hasad comes. Okay? So, Awliyāʻullah, they had many problems. But they had very happy life. They had tranquil hearts. Why? Because their approach to life was correct. They were critical of themselves and appreciative of the good things which are around. No unnecessary worries or stress. Don't expecting too much from people. If you lower your expectations from people, then you would be able to live with them. So they had more problems, but they enjoyed their life much more than us. We have less problems, but we don't enjoy our life. Why? Because we are part of the problem. So, a mu'min should never think that he can graduate from tarbiyah, from self-disciplining, self-purification. You can never say, Alhamdulillah, I finished this. Now, I don't need to worry. The moment you think you don't need to worry, that's your death, a spiritual death. Means you are finished, you are destroyed. Anyone who thinks that he's okay, he's destroyed. But don't let despair come to you. The fact that you are a person who is honest and critical of himself or herself is a great gift. To know that you are empty-handed is a great achievement. Let us achieve this quality of feeling that you are empty-handed. You are poor. This, if you achieve this really, then you can be very hopeful. That Alhamdulillah, at least I am on the right track. I have to go on. I cannot stop. I cannot say it's enough. But Alhamdulillah, you are on the right track. The moment you think that you are great, you are special, you have no problems, that shows that you have gone off track. So, self-assessment would remain a necessity for our entire life. Till, inshallah, we meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can tell you whether you were okay or not. You can never okay yourself. You can never say, no, I am fine. حاسبوا أنفسكم قبل أن تحاسبوا. You must keep the booking of everything. Have an eye on yourself very carefully. Inshallah, there is a great hope that if you have been very strict, maybe even Allah would not judge you. إنهم لمحضرون إلا عباد الله المخلصين. What is the ayah exactly? Maybe you can find someone the reference. The Quran says all of them will be called for judgment except mukhlasin, those who are purified, Allah would not bring them for judgment. You know, sometimes, for example, the people who come for, taxes, if they come few times and they see you have been keeping record of everything perfectly and your account is always ready, yeah, then they say, we don't need to bother about this person. He has been very careful, and if anything has remained unnoticed, because he made mistake. Otherwise, he himself was very, very careful. So, there is a hope that if we are very careful about ourselves and examine ourselves carefully, maybe inshallah even we would not go through difficulties of Day of Judgment. There is possibility of that. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would have either no hisab for them, or would be very easy. Very nice, just, kind of hisab that is to show appreciation to what you have done. For example, Allah says, you have done this good, actions like salat, zakat, hajj. You have done infaq, you have been teaching, you have been learning, you have been kind to your parents. A kind of hisab which is just something that you like to continue because you are feeling that you have been respected, your actions are recognized. When your hisab is good, it's not going to worry you. Yeah? You will be very happy. Like, for example, a student who has done his homework properly and all the assignments properly, if the teacher looks into the notebook and pages, the student would not be unhappy. Actually would be happy that the teacher is seeing this. So either there would be no hisab, or if there would be hisab, would be simple, would be easy. But this is for the people who prepare themselves for bad hisab. يَخَافُونَ سُوءَ الْحِسَابِ. So they work for the worst scenario, prepare themselves for very difficult exam, but then there is no need to have difficult tests for them, because they have already been very. And those people who don't take exams seriously and don't prepare themselves, then they would find it very difficult. So, not to lose your hope, not to lose your energy, trust Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but please be very much observing and watching yourself, whether it be your intention, whether it be your relations, whether it be your decisions, your ideas. Please watch it carefully. And if there are people who sincerely, not enemies that might be, trying to destroy you. Of course, even to enemies you can listen, but at least to sincere people who tell you some good advice, please appreciate and take it into consideration. Because none of us is free from need for advice. Even Rasulullah used to say to Jibreel, "Izni, give me maw'izah." We all need maw'izah. Okay, let us end with some du'as. We pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala at the end of this series of lectures this year together. نسألك اللهم وندعوك باسمك العظيم الأعظم الأعز الأجل الأكرم بالقرآن المستحكم بالفاطمة وأبيها وبعلها وبنيها والسر المستودع فيها يا الله 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 يا رحمن يا رحيم يا أرحم الراحمين يا مقلب القلوب ثبت قلوبنا على دينك واكفنا يا قاضي الحاجات ويا كافي المهمات إنك على كل شيء قدير اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. Oh Allah, please help us all the time in our pursuit of your nearness, in our pursuit of perfection. Please help us against our own nafs. Please help us against deceptions of nafs. Please include us among your sincere, honest, truthful servants. Please give us brothers and sisters in dunya that would help us in our journey towards you. Please keep us always in company of your good servants. Please do not let us be associated with dishonest people, with the people whose ideas, whose thoughts, whose intentions are not for you. Please, to all illnesses of our body and heart. Please remove any obstacle that stands between us and you. Please unite our hearts. Please give us wisdom and courage to make the best of decisions, even if they might be difficult. Please give us energy to come towards you without any stop. Please keep us and our children, our friends, our brothers and sisters, always on the right path, in the nearest position to you, under your direct guidance and provision. Please make our Imam al-Zaman happy with us, and please include us among the people that Imam al-Zaman prays for their success and for their tawfiq. Please enable us to live such a life that our Imam would be pleased with and would be smiling when he receives the records of our deeds. Please give your rahmah and maghfirah to our parents, and for parents and our teachers, those who have rights upon us, our ulama and martyrs and marajah. And please make the last moment of our life the best moment of our life. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen.